All right. All right. We ready to go? Yeah, we're good to go, man. I don't know. What was that? You gave me your hiccups. This is all. Okay, first of all, someone can't give you hiccups. Yeah, you gave them to me. I have them now. You had them forever, and now I got them. I don't know what. First of all, it's not my fault I had the hiccups. That's not on me. You see this, Joe? Now I got them. He gave them to me. Okay, first of all, if I didn't give them to you, clearly you took them. They were not given to you.
Well, did you drink anything today? Like, too much drinking, like Kool-Aid?
I drink coffee. Yep.
I don't know.
Coffee can't give you hiccups, man. I know they can't. You gave them to me. Yep.
Okay. So it is like the little wave. He just waved them on to you, and then just.
I didn't give him the hiccups, Joe. Also, me having the hiccups isn't the most annoying thing in the world. Yes, it is. It's worse than you sneezing. What is wrong with the way I sneeze? It's the loudest thing ever.
I can say this. When I sneeze, I may sneeze like back to back, like 5 times in a row if I sneeze.
Oh, that's too much. Yeah, Joe, that's a bit excessive. That's too many. What, 5 sneezes?
Like 35 in a row. Yeah, back to back. Like.
Oh, see, now I'm not busting you 5 times. You get 2. After 2 sneezes, you gotta get your shit together.
Hey, I'm cool with the 1. You say bless you, I'm cool, but I know it's gonna keep going. So yeah, like about 3 to 5. Yeah.
Dude, what? Yep. Why did you give me these, Joe? I'm dying. Yep.
How are you dying?
I got the hiccups. Panther, what the? I got Panther. I got hiccups. Jeremy had them. Now I got them. Yep.
Hey, the best solution is just to hold the breath for like 15 seconds. No, 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
You think that'll help?
It'll help. 20 seconds.
All right, let me do the intro. What is up, everyone? Thank you for checking out. Don't say the F word. We are pro wrestling and pro. I can't do this. I'm gonna hold my breath.
All right, we got 20 seconds, y'all. So,
well, while he's holding his breath, thank you for checking us out live on Instagram, Pro Wrestling Combat Sports Podcast. We do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. Don't let your friends use it either. It's Monday. We're going to be previewing Raw. We're going to talk new WWE TV deal, new UFC media deal. Is Karrion Kross situation of work? That's still unraveling. That was. Are you good? All right. I think I'm all right. I think I'm lightheaded though. I am woozy.
I left that part out. My bad.
How long was I holding my breath? Like an hour? That was maybe 30 seconds. Maybe. I don't. That's enough for me. I'm out of here. You guys have a great show. Oh my God. They're back. Oh, they're back.
Hey, you'll be all right.
That's Mark the Monster, everyone. He apparently has hiccups.
Ain't nothing wrong with the hiccups.
So, Joe.
Yeah.
New WWE media deal. Everyone up in arms. Gonna cost some more money to be a WWE fan. Then along comes the UFC. New deal with Paramount Plus. It's gonna save UFC fans $900 a year.
Hey, I seen it this morning. I better let you know about this ASAP.
Yeah. So previous model with the ESPN Plus deal and pay-per-view, or the pay-per-view, whatever it is with ESPN Plus, costs you over $1,000 a year to watch the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Paramount Plus, it's going to cost you $150.
$9.99. Seven. As of right now, it's $7.99. Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Which I ain't mad about.
Do you think this gets more eyes on the UFC product?
Not really.
See, I don't think so either. It's $7.7 billion for this media rights deal.
In my personal opinion, just me, but UFC was good maybe 10 years ago. 10 years? Maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think that's fair. There's no stars. There's no stars in the UFC anymore. They don't even try to make them.
Yeah, so I remember back, at least 10 years ago, it was hot. Everybody would want to watch their pay-per-views, wait till, 12 or 1 to the main event. Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, and I think a big issue UFC has faced is that the Fertitta brothers left, and they were the ones who knew how to make stars. Dana White doesn't know how to make a star, and Dana White operates under what he understood Vince McMahon's mentality to be of make the 3 letters be the most important thing, and the business will always make money. You don't got to have stars. But nobody talks about the fighters in the UFC. They talk about watching the UFC. That's sustainable for a period of time, but eventually people need to be able to be invested. They need to care about the product they're watching. Because this is America, and nobody gives a shit about your corporation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could say literally. I don't even know who the last main star is of UFC. There ain't really been no good matches. Unless you
I
want
don't
to
know who
count
the
John.
champions are. We are a pro wrestling and combat sports podcast. When I started this thing, it was on the idea I was going to be covering WWE, MMA, BKFC crept its way in there, slap fighting crept its way in. I would love to cover sumo. That would be fun. I really like sumo wrestling.
Oh, okay. Sumo, we have to get somewhere. Okay.
But I can't tell you the last time I watched a UFC event. Highlights, sure. Some clips here and there, sure. But I also can't tell you the last time I gave a shit, a single turd about a UFC card. None of it matters anymore. There's no fighters I care about. There's no stars. You kind of have John Jones lingering around talking about maybe he's done, maybe he's not. You have Conor McGregor pretending he's ever going to fight in the UFC again. Pretending. Never going to happen.
He makes more money off that, his liquor. He makes more money from that.
I don't know if he's even still involved in those businesses, but I mean, he's a partial owner of BKFC. The only thing I can see Conor doing is trying to knock out his last 2 UFC fights in his contract so that he could then go fight in the BKFC. Now, what worries me is because Conor is a partial owner of BKFC, just prior to Conor becoming a partial owner, president, founder, CEO of BKFC, David Feldman, had a meeting with Dana White.
Oh, wow.
Now, story I heard, and this didn't come from Feldman. Everybody knows David Feldman's been on the show a few times. We talked to him. He didn't tell me this. This came from Mike Perry, was that Dana made an offer to buy BKFC. When I asked David Feldman about that, he laughed and said no comment. Now, I worry that Conor became a partial owner to later sell what he owns to Dana. And Dana would only want to buy it because, well, let's face it, BKFC is infinitely more entertaining than the UFC.
It shows the upcoming talent in a nice way, better way.
And it's exciting. BKFC is exciting. There's minimal fights that are dull in any capacity. And it starts off with a bang. Like, they start from the scratch line, dead center of the ring, 3 feet apart. You're within striking distance. You start off the fight in imminent danger. There's no feeling out process. The UFC back in the day, back whenever I started becoming a big UFC fan and got into MMA and started fighting, it was exciting, man. People were fighting to win. Well, people were attempting to win. Now people fight to not lose, and it's not enjoyable. Like, I can't think of the last time I watched a UFC event. I really can't. It's been years.
It was the one retirement match, not John Jones.
Stipe's last match.
That's it. Yeah. There we go.
I watched that fight, but I didn't watch that event. I didn't watch the whole thing. Now, what I think is interesting is that with this new TV deal, UFC is basically saying that the pay-per-view model is dead. Which, I mean, WWE has proven that time and time again, right? Pay-per-views kind
of. Yeah.
This becomes quite interesting in the UFC. Because if you're going to abandon pay-per-view 100%, what happens with these contracts? A lot of these guys have, especially your bigger name talent, have these pay-per-view clauses in their contract where the higher pay-per-view buys are, the more money the main event guy makes. It's the old school combat sports business model of, if you're the main event on the pay-per-view, you're getting a percentage of pay-per-view buys. It's the way WWE's contracts used to go. It's the reason Hulk Hogan held on to his spot in WCW for so long, and the whole "doesn't work for me, brother" was all financial. If Hogan wasn't in the main event, he wasn't making as much money. Big deal with Brock. Brock's hesitation whenever he came back, and it was the WWE Network, was like, hey, what about all my money for pay-per-views? Because I'm a pay-per-view draw. It's what was a roadblock whenever there was the speculation that Brock was going to be coming back to the UFC with the Daniel Cormier thing, and he decided not to come back, was, hey, the pay-per-view model and business ain't what it once was. Brock, your deal will be different. You won't make as much money. He's like, well, if I'm not going to make as much money, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Now the UFC is saying, yeah, pay-per-view ain't the way to go. So how are they going to pay these
guys? Simple. They're going to do what was it? I believe in WWE, they got this, like you said, percentage-wise on the streams on who watches it. But mostly, it's probably going to be the arena sales that give people their paycheck. Because with the streaming, because right now, if it wasn't for 2020, with the whole streaming, people would probably still paying $60 for pay-per-view. But then again, the WWE Network came out like $16, $17, $9.99. That people went the cheap route just to watch a pay-per-view instead of buying $50, $60 WrestleMania. So you can't blame them. Can't blame the people going the cheap route and trying to.
The network was such a great deal. And it came about at a perfect time for WWE because viewership was down, ticket sales were down. Then went along with the network where you can watch everything that ever happened. Okay, cool. $10 a month? Cool.
That network was a blessing.
It really was. We didn't know how good we had it. I always say the biggest scam in combat sports is the things that the promoters talk about. ticket sales, pay-per-view buys, right?
Mm-hmm.
How big was the house, and how many pay-per-view buys did we get? Now Dana White's saying pay-per-view buys don't matter. Well, I've always told everyone that what the promoters talk about, the numbers they give, goes business 101. Numbers never lie, and liars use numbers. Promoters talk about the ticket sales and the pay-per-view buys to justify what they pay the fighters. The money is in the advertising and the media deal. The UFC just got $7.7 billion media rights deal on Paramount Plus. If you're a UFC fighter and you're not contacting every lawyer you can to renegotiate your contract today, you are out of your mind. If you have a belt in the UFC and you are a draw, I would be contacting my agent. I'd be contacting the lawyer going, I want a new deal. I want my fair cut of $7.7 billion.
I think they're gonna work out. It all depends on how many fighters they got right now, because I don't even know how many they got.
Shitload. There's a shitload of fighters signed to UFC deals because their contracts are hostage situations. Let's see here. How many fighters are currently active on UFC's roster?
I'd be surprised more than 20.
As of August 2024, there are 857 active fighters on the UFC roster. 857. And you want to know why there ain't stars? Your roster's too deep. There's too many people.
Damn. Okay. I'm thinking maybe like 20, not 800.
Now, as I go to breaking this down, Wikipedia says there's over 578 across the 11 divisions, 8 men's divisions, 3 women's divisions. So I think 578 seems more reasonable.
Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah. Damn. Shit. Okay, so 7.7 billion.
Now, Reddit says there's 857 active. I don't know. But if I'm a big name fighter, if I have a title, if I'm Tom Aspinall, I know he's the heavyweight champ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold up the division. I want a new deal. I want a new deal. You're gonna pay me, and at $7.7 billion to do Paramount, they better not hold any more cards in the damn Apex. Stop holding cards in the Apex where you don't have fans. Like, this came about during COVID where you couldn't have a big crowd. So now this is what they do. They do these Apex cards where there's limited attendance. So you have limited money for the house. So you have limited ticket sales. So you have a limited amount of money to pay the fighters that you have coming onto your show. And that's where you're bringing these guys in, and you're giving them like 3-3, 4-4. So you don't know those contracts. It's like $4,000 to show, $4,000 to win.
Hold up. Here's my thing. So did they get paid the same amount with that ESPN deal with the pay-per-views? Or is that completely different where they got the pay-per-views?
So with the ESPN deal, they still had pay-per-views in other countries. The ESPN Plus thing was pay-per-views were part of the ESPN Plus deal, but I think you still had to pay for some of them. If I'm remembering it correctly, some were paid, some were included in the deal. Like the fight nights and stuff, I think were just free in the app for the regular subscription, but you had to come out of pocket for the pay. So for the big ones, the UFC number. So UFC, I don't know, what even are they, like 400 or something? UFC 419 would be a paid pay-per-view inside of the ESPN Plus app. Here's the issue. Pay-per-view inside the ESPN Plus app, pay-per-view buys aren't made public. Because it's an in-app purchase. It's not pay-per-view the way pay-per-view is broken down by the FCC.
There we go.
So becomes kind of muddy waters of how they're paying people. But the fact of the matter remains, you still have some guys who are fighting in the UFC doing these Apex cards with contracts that are 8 and 8. $8,000 to show, $8,000 to win. Lower tier guys, their first fight's in. Some guys are still seeing 4-4. Are you going to get into a fist fight for $8,000?
Probably not. Probably not now.
No. I'm not doing it. And once upon a time, I would have fought anyone on the planet in my front yard for free if they thought they were better than me.
You still can. You know that, right? You still can.
But I won't. Knowing your worth really spoke volumes for me. I fought for free. I've had fights that have costed me money. I broke someone's leg and they didn't get paid. A bit of a different mentality as you get older, and you're not that strapped for cash. But yeah, man, $8,000, $8,000 for me to pay my own way to Vegas and fight, and got to pay for my cornerman, got to do all this shit. The UFC, I don't know, man. I don't know what necessarily keeps fighters wanting to fight in the UFC.
I say I don't know how they get paid monthly or anything, but I say they got like a good. No,
there's no monthly pay. There's no guaranteed contract. You have guys. The UFC contracts are a hostage situation too. So you're paid as an independent contractor, right? So you're paid when you fight. That's it. There's no other payment that happens unless you have some other deal with the UFC where you're doing some other shit for them. But as far as your fighter contract, you are paid when you fight. Your deal is broken down. They have different tiers, but it's this much to show, this much to win. That's it. And you end up with different time frames of when they have to offer you fights. So let's just go. We'll use the 6-month marker. We'll say it's 6 months. Different people, different tiers, different time frames, but they have to offer you a fight every 6 months if that's your deal. And it's for this much to show, this much to win. Now, what happens, and this is what happened with Nick Diaz, was he had time off and had fights left on his contract. Whenever they were looking to bring him back, they kept offering him fights that were bad fights for him to take. So every offer was to offer someone who, let's just call it what was probably going to be a bad opponent for him. He was going to lose in probably devastating fashion. So what kind of sense does it take that fight? Because if he takes that fight and he loses badly, now his stock has dropped. Now he's not worth as much to the next bidder. So then he takes that next fight and they do the same shit to it. And you get KO'd back-to-back in the UFC, now you don't have value anywhere else. You can't go somewhere else and ride that wave of, hey, I was this, this, and this. Like, yeah, but you just lost your last two. Now you're coming off of 2 defeats. You take damage. You don't have the value you once had. All these things. Francis Ngannou played him. He became the heavyweight champ, was at the end of his deal. They tried to feed him to a shark. He surpassed that situation, kept his belt, and told them what he wanted. And he set the bar real high. And they said no. And he said, cool, I'm out. I'm the heavyweight champion of the UFC. And I'm walking away to go and join another promotion. Bye. Now every other heavyweight champ's tainted after that. Your lineal champion is Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
In the UFC. Everyone after that never beat Francis. John Jones ain't the heavyweight champion, never beat Francis. And won't fight Tom Aspinall.
All right. Well, let me just rephrase that then. So, I would say how they're living, they probably got your normal 9 to 5 or a corporate job, and then just fight when they can. But I really don't know people finance. But I would just say, if I had to say, they probably got a 9 to 5 or a corporate job, and they'll fight. Hey, if you fight June 1st, you can fight January 15th. Just be a success.
Yeah. You know what? I told you why I essentially stopped fighting, right?
You told me a number of reasons, but yeah,
The big thing was the money.
the money.
There was never going to be enough money in it. Toward the end of me fighting, Frankie Edgar was still competitive in the UFC. And my cousin, a Division I wrestler, wrestled at Clarion, was college roommates with Frankie Edgar. They wrestled together. And my cousin also fought. And he was talking to Frankie, and Frankie was telling him about the contracts, how they worked, and what those deals were, and what we'd be looking at. We came into the UFC, and at that time, you were looking at the best you could get. The best you were going to get walking in was going to be like 6-6. So I did math. I'm like, okay, well, that's $12,000 to win. Now, how many fights could I do in a year? 3 if I'm lucky? 4? Right?
Right, yeah.
Let's say 4. And I win all 4. Not including, knockout bonus or whatever could happen. Like, well, you win all 4, that's $48,000 a year. That's not a lot of money. That's all pre-tax, too, by the way. So then you figure what your taxes are going to be is you're going to be paying out roughly 40-some-odd% of that. Now, you have stuff you can claim that bring that down, but then you also have a lot of things that come out of your pocket. Your training comes out of your own pocket. Your travel comes out of your hotel stay. You can't travel alone. A team's got to come with you. So all these things are going to come out of your pocket. These are all expensive. Now, if you're smart and as a fighter, I encourage everyone, if you're any type of combat sports athlete, establish yourself an LLC, call yourself a business. You are the brand. Everything is the business expense. Everything. But you do all that math and you break it down. And I'm like, well, if I'm lucky enough to bring in $48,000 a year, at the end of the day, my bring home, I'm lucky if I'm making minimum wage. At the time, I got to put in training, sparring, all this stuff, fight camps, do all these things. I'm lucky to be making minimum wage.
Ooh.
While taking a lot of brain trauma.
You'd be lucky to end up with 12.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, at the end of the day, there are very few wealthy combat sports athletes. From MMA to bare knuckle to power slap to cards, all these things. There's not a lot. There's just not many of them that are actually wealthy. Now, they may have large purses for some of their fights. They may have some guys may get real lucky, man. They may get some really good sponsorship deals in the organizations that allow them to have their own sponsors. And that's another big thing. UFC, changed their sponsorship deal, and they get a cut of everything. They're involved in everything. You're not signing a deal with somebody and putting their brand on your trunks and making it and pulling 100 G's from them to advertise them on the cards. It's not happening anymore. So for me, it became very much, it was the juice worth the squeeze, and was the damage I was taking ever going to be worth it? Because I had nothing, I really didn't feel like I had nothing I needed to prove from a combat sports perspective. I had done way more than I had ever thought I would do. And I got into it with no expectations. And I did a lot of really cool shit. But I'm like, there's no money to be made here. I could make way more money on my corporate gig and not take any more concussions, because I've had a lot. And the concussions started to get a little scary.
Yeah, them concussions ain't nothing to joke with.
And I've probably had over a dozen.
Damn.
Easy more than a dozen concussions. And I think the most damage I did in my brain weren't even times I got knocked out. They were just times I got rocked really hard, and I bit down my mouthpiece and just kept swinging. And then took even more damage.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
Right? The money ain't worth it. Like I said, I had somebody reach out to me and ask me if I would do a bare knuckle fight for what was it? The offer was for 3-3. I think it was 3-3. To do bare knuckle for 3-3. Hell no, absolutely not. I don't even need to know who the opponent was. I'm not doing a bare knuckle fight for $6,000. The hell am I gonna do with $6,000?
You could add a new accessory to the house.
I'm good.
I'm saying.
$6,000. What I was gonna do? Give me some more fake teeth? I got enough. Got enough of them. I got enough fake teeth in this mouth, man.
Okay.
Enough of them got chipped and broke and knocked. I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need any more.
I never thought you had fake teeth at this time the whole time.
Fake teeth, rebuilt face. I mean, my whole face. I had to have facial reconstructive surgery. I had to rebuild my face. I'm thinking like these dudes who are doing this at the high level of the UFC is not. We're not an MMA, man. Their dudes weren't even at the level. Like you didn't have to be an elite athlete. That's a big thing. Once your guys like John Jones showed up and you had to be an elite athlete to be competitive in the UFC, I knew my days of like trying to make money in MMA were numbered because I am not an elite athlete. Never have been. Never gonna be. But yeah, man, they had to rebuild They had to do 5 surgeries to rebuild my face.
Damn.
That's just because my nose had been broken so many times. I had 100% blockage on one side and 90% blockage on the other, and they had to go in and just clean out all this junk in my face and rebuild. My turbinates were crushed completely flat inside. I had to rebuild those. Probably reconstructing, but they said they didn't have to take a rib. So the initial plan was take part of a rib and use it to rebuild my nose and rebuild the bone inside. The doctor said there was enough garbage in my face. They were able to use everything they found. It's just pieces and parts, and they just put them back together.
Ooh, okay. Damn, that sounds like it was a hefty insurance money.
Yeah. 76 grand would have covered it.
Yeah. Okay, never mind that.
When he asked, he said, one of my consultations, they tried to scope inside, and the scope wouldn't go in because everything was crushed so bad. He goes, how many times have you broken your nose? I don't know. He goes, I'm just going to put a lot. I'm going to put you have broken your nose a lot because it's pretty messed up in there. yeah, I haven't been able to breathe through it for about a decade, so probably longer.
Okay.
About it.
Well,
yeah.
That's why the mouth is there to help you breathe as well. God damn.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope UFC fighters are going to get new contracts.
I ain't seen nothing about the contracts, but some pop up within the next 2 days.
We'll see. If they're smart, they should all hold out. Hold out and try and get some money. Let's talk about Raw. Now that we have gone way deep on UFC contracts and this media deal, which was not part of the plan for the show.
I don't know what's happening on Raw tonight.
You don't know? I can lay the card out for you. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. We have Naomi is set to defend her championship against Iyo Sky. We also have Becky Lynch is set to defend the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Maxxine Dupri. Sami Zayn versus Rusev set for Raw tonight.
Okay.
And all signs indicate to CM Punk kicking off Monday Night Raw.
Seth, we're not done, Seth.
Think that'll be the angle?
I think, I'm going to say, I think it's going to go, if they do it right, I think they're going to do that fatal 4-way at Clash at Paris, whatever.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Because think about it. Well, if you go back, LA Knight technically he lost because CM Punk interfered. Roman Reigns wants his revenge on Seth since they got history like normal. But then again, Roman Reigns could probably go after Breaker or Bronson instead of Seth.
I would really like to see Roman go after Bronson Reed. That's what I'd like to see.
I think, if they did it right, I think, Seth, they could do Bronson and Roman. Jay and Breaker already had their little good feud, so they don't got to do that again. But it's only right, though.
Yeah. You know, you have the Tribal Thief with Bronson Reed.
Yeah, them shoes. Second
You
pair of
got good
shoes.
history between those two. I mean, you have Bronson Reed to the opposite of Roman Reigns at War Games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson Reed tsunami'd Roman through a table last year. You have a good way to build a feud of, the Tribal Thief versus the Tribal Chief.
And
I'm down for that.
And poor Bronson also broke his foot that day, too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, CM Punk is kicking off Raw.
Probably so, yeah.
Right? What is, this run in WWE, what is the CM Punk claim to fame?
Simple. We're going to be enemies forever, and as long as you're the champion, I'm coming after you. I'm going to make your life miserable, and I'm going to make sure that belt gets off of you.
What's the one thing he likes to bring up that other people like to bring up also? That for 10 years, the crowd chanted his name. Mm-hmm. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Tonight, that crowd's going to chant. They're going to chant something else.
They're still in Canada, right? Or they back?
Where are they at? Man, I don't know where the show is at. Oh, yeah. It is still in Canada, Quebec City.
Okay. It's a 50-50. It's a 50.
They're going to chant for Cross, man. They're gonna hijack the show. We want Cross. We want Cross. We want Cross.
I can say this, since we off topic here. I watched that last night, that contract.
Oh, the little documentary on his YouTube channel?
Yeah, it was a good hour, 15 minutes, but I watched it last night.
So what's your takeaway from it? Lay it on me, Joe. Tell me. I clicked it on, but we were. I don't remember what was going on. We were doing something, and I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, I'll go back and watch it. And then today was way too busy.
Okay. Takeaway. It starts off basically like, what's a good way to say it? It's the life of an employee being a good worker. You got your coworkers, you got friends telling you you're the best, and then you just know at the end that something ain't gonna go your way. Like they're gonna choose you over somebody. They're gonna choose the other person over you. That's my takeaway from it.
I've been there.
That's why I got from, because he said in there that he wanted to do other roles like production. He said a lot of people came up to him, said that he could do production, make their character better, make the matches better, and
man, he'd be a good producer, I think.
And he said that majority of them, that I gotta give him credit. The whole entire time, he didn't mention nobody's name on who said what. He just said, I'm not gonna mention anybody's names. He didn't call people out. He just said people before him and below him all came up to him and asked how he did in the match.
He's not gonna say nobody's name.
Yeah.
You remember the rumor that he was a mafia hitman, right?
Yeah. He even brought that up again, too.
Who said that? That was somebody in commentary. I can't remember who that was.
Yeah. But then the main thing I got out of it was the fans. Everywhere he went, the fans was always behind his back, no matter what. And another thing in it was, I think he knew when he made the documentary he wasn't going to resign. Just by the way it was going from the beginning to the end, it just gave you that vibe, like he wanted to stay, but part of him feel like it's not the best decision for him to stay, like just to move on. And when they said that they wouldn't let him do production, I think he knew that was one thing, that if they don't see him doing production, that they really don't need him. And I think that's where he knew in it that he got to go. Sad he got to go.
Trump's asking
End up,
our fundraiser, a new fundraiser. Yes, this is a new fundraiser. This is for the Cuyahoga County Animal Shelter. New animal shelter, new fundraiser. Cuyahoga County, they have a great animal shelter. My wife and I have been there a few times helping out. They have a cool program, dog day out. You can take a dog out for a day on the town. It's a really cool thing. But yeah, try to help raise some money for them.
but all in all, the documentary, if you want to watch it, I would say jump to like 30 minutes, because the first 30 minutes is more about the fans, how he react with the fans. Oh, and that whole contract thing was a work. He wanted everybody to know that part was a work when he was on that interview with the what's his face, the bald head dude.
Sam Roberts, that
There
whole
we go.
thing.
Yeah, he told it was a work. They told him to go out there and make it believable. But I guess when the contract negotiation came along, certain people didn't believe it was a work. They actually thought he really felt that way. But they're like, oh man, it was a work. You told me to go out there. I told him I'll do a work. I guess they really took, that's how he felt.
He worked himself into a shoot.
Yeah.
Cultaholic covered his situation, and they alluded to their thoughts that like this thing right now might be a work. They said that seemingly the offers that were made were not very lucrative offers that were made to him and his wife. And a lot of people seem to be dumbfounded. Your boy Bubba Ray Dudley seems to be doesn't seem to be buying it. I think he put out there that he's available for bookings. We'll see what happens there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him and his wife back in WWE. If it happens too soon, I think fans are really going to lose trust in WWE, to be honest about things. And again, the whole thing's a work. Like I get it. Everything's a work. Don't believe half of what you see and nothing you hear when it comes to pro wrestling, because it's always a work. I did see that the Bus Open talked about like they're probably shooting things for the next season of Unreal Wrestling. What a great story this would be for Unreal, right? This would be a really good episode.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I kind of want him to go. I kind of want him to go other places.
I don't think it's a work. I think this is legit, because if you look at his profile and everything, it all don't got no reference to WWE no more. It just says professional booking at crossgmail.com, Charlotte Gmail. It's not work. I think they are just going to take the time away from wrestling. I say take the time away from wrestling and pursue other things. I don't think he's going to jump ships over to AEW. I think he just want to take time away and act. Because in the video, if you do watch it, he does want to be a wrestler, but then he wants to be other things than just a wrestler. So I think he want to take the time off and let his book do his thing, do the touring.
I have not read his book yet.
I haven't either.
I am interested.
So I think he's just going to take time away, do autographs for the booking, and just try to pursue other things, because at the end of the day, even though they are guaranteed a wrestler, you got to think that wrestling it's not always gonna be guaranteed you're gonna get a good amount of income being a wrestler for the rest of your life. Your body and told everything you gotta figure out a second plan in life to keep getting that income coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy who could do a lot of stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think he would fit into some different promotions. I don't know how things stand. You know, there's a whole story of him and Don Callis not getting along in TNA. Don's not there anymore.
He's in AEW.
But I don't know that he has any. I don't know that he's any more than TV talent in AEW. I have no idea if he has any backstage anything.
I really think he's just gonna go on the indies and just be like Matt Cardona. Be on the indies, get a little bit more money, and then when he's ready, he knows that contract is still there. Don't know what was in the contract to make him say, no. But like always, they'll come back. They'll reach out to him. But I do say he would make a great producer just by the way he sounds, the way he make character is. He'll be a great producer.
I do think he would do great backstage, but I still think he's such a character wrestler, right? Like he's not a dude's Puerto Rican. No one even knows, right? Like he doesn't play that gimmick. He has this whole dark character that he's been forging for years. Like Killer Cross has been around not a long time, but he's been around a good amount of time. Like there's history there. And I think he really wants a completion to that character.
Yeah, but
Just my opinion. I don't know.
I don't know. I really think he's just gonna take away from wrestling and just pursue other things. So I don't think he's gonna show up tomorrow on Dynamite or Collision this week, y'all. He's just gonna take a break.
Maybe, man. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel, and my gut tells me it's just a work. It felt like the R-Truth thing went well. I feel like they're just trying to work us, but who knows? Just sent him an email trying to get him on the show, so we'll see what happens. Let's see if I can book Killer Cross.
It could happen. I mean,
Hey, here's one thing I never thought would happen with this podcast. I never in a million years would have thought BKFC World Champions would just be eager to come on the show. I never in a million years thought the president, founder, and CEO of BKFC would be happy to have me interview him. Never thought we'd get a New York Times bestselling author, Mark Ramundi, on the show. Never thought Ariel Helwani would pop into the live chat on our show. Never thought I'd get the opportunity to interview a legend in combat sports and Mark Hunt. Never thought R-Truth would follow this podcast.
hey.
All things I never thought would happen. So I might be able to get Killer Cross to come on here. It can happen. It can happen.
It can happen. You just gotta believe, but it can happen.
There is not much substance to Monday Night Raw tonight.
Nah.
Too realistic, let's be honest. Women's world title match, women's intercontinental title match are throwaway matches built for interference, right? Bailey's going to interfere in Becky's match. Like this is all like trivial. Sami versus Rusev. I don't even begin to understand a point to that. So I would imagine we're going to have a lot of story building around all these matches with things that don't have matches. So the Seth Riders should be doing something. I'm sorry, they're called the Vision now, right?
Yeah, what to tell you about that? It seems like the Vision, the way he made it sound, Vision. Well, which I kind of get it with the Visionary. They're gonna go by the Vision, but it could have came up with a better name, but Vision. But I can tell you what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is with the Becky match, it's gonna be Nikki Bella interfering, coming after her for that title because she said, "You can't see your husband."
That, it just seemed like they tried to script a low blow from the tales of the whole Tiffany Charlotte thing.
Yeah, but that's how it be. But I can see that's probably about what's going to happen. This is going to be and Dirty Diamond AJ. There we go. They're going to find some way to put them in there.
Do you think AJ Styles is going to take the IC title off of Dom? Trunks, thank you for your time. You got 821, got it in here. My wife Mindy has already given me hers at 817 as well.
Let's see here. I'm gonna go with 26.
Joe's taking 826.
26.
Well, I will just go tried and true. I'll take 823.
But yeah, now you know what'd be funny? I'm gonna say Dirty Dom is the one that retires AJ Styles. I'll say they do a retirement match. If I don't win the belt, I retire. And I think AJ is going to pass the torch on to Dirty Dom, and Dirty Dom is going to retire AJ Styles.
Man, that'd be crazy.
I'll say this. You got to think about it. Dom probably going to have help from Finn and JD all the time, keep that belt. Then AJ probably going to do a stipulation, making them not want to agree to it. If he wins, he'll retire. And I say Dirty Dom is the one that retired AJ Styles.
Man, that'd be crazy.
I mean, you got to think about it. They want that character, Dirty Dom, to be a good heel. And what better way? Get rid of top big one.
Here, just breaking news. Another reason I think this whole Killer Cross thing is a work. The now accepting bookings email address he shared, not a real email address.
For real?
I just tried sending it. It came back to me that this email address doesn't exist.
Oh.
Now, we'll see if I can just go to killercross.com and see if it's in a different spot. Maybe you have to go contact us from there directly. But bookings at killercross.com email came back as not a real email address.
How about Charlotte?
I gotta be honest, I don't want to interview Charlotte. I don't want to.
I mean, you gotta get the wife on there as well. If wife get A-okay, you know, wife is probably the business partner. Come on, you know this by now. The wife is always the one negotiating things. Come on, you should know that. You gotta have the wife negotiate.
Contact. Now, okay, so it's a form on the website, not just in an email. So,
okay.
I stand corrected.
I'm about to say maybe it is a word. I thought you had me there for a second there. I'm like, okay.
Hey, man, I was thinking. I was thinking, hey, this might be complete work. Let's go ahead. Let's do this request here.
The end is near.
Boom. There we go. Submitted it there.
All right. I say give it about a minute. If it comes back invalid, then ooh.
I mean, that's right from his website, so I feel confident that that's going to be legit. We'll see how that goes. I don't think there's going to be any major surprises for Raw tonight. I think it's just going to be an average show. I don't know if I'm even going to watch. I'll definitely watch Punk open the show. But then I might catch highlights of everything else. Nothing that's going to happen on Raw is must-see TV for live viewing. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. I hope they do some good stuff. Maybe we'll get a Penta match.
Penta? Oh yeah. Oh, the 3L Americana.
Yeah, it's 3 El Grande Americanos.
Yeah.
Which is great because he's on our fantasy team, so he can have 3 matches in a night.
Yeah. Well, there's a tall, medium, and a short. You don't know who's. They already got the internet already broke down who the 3 are. So hey.
Of course they did. Ruining everything.
Mm-hmm.
You got any crazy predictions for Raw tonight, Joe?
Let's see. They're gonna have to announce some matches for Clash of Paris for Raw since they already got Cena and Cody. So we can probably go on. Okay. I think Naomi probably gonna face Stephanie Valkyria over at Paris. Definitely gonna do something with AJ and Dirty Don. They're gonna do something with them again tonight. I can see it. And we'll say Seth. Seth, another LA Knight feud. There we go. Tonight. Since he didn't properly get his match the way he wanted it. That's the opening. CM Punk and LA Knight. That's the opening. There you go.
Ooh. You know what? That could be a fun promo.
I'm gonna say CM Punk or one, two gonna open up the show and gonna call. If LA Knight opens it up, he gonna call out CM Punk. But if CM Punk opens it up, somewhere LA Knight is gonna interrupt it.
I like that, Joe. I like how you're booking Raw. Yeah, I definitely like that. We got our time set. You're booking a good opening. We'll see how that goes after I see if that keeps me hooked. If I stick around and watch the rest of Raw live, or I'm just watch CM Punk and then I watch the replay tomorrow.
There you go.
We'll be back Wednesday. Cap Raw. We'll preview Dynamite. We'll find out if Joe watched NXT or not. I know I'm not gonna.
I ain't got CW, y'all. Sorry.
There we go. Joe might watch the highlights. Who knows? Okay. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll see what Dynamite has in store for us. We'll see how Raw went. And, hey, who knows where Karrion Kross will end up. If maybe I should bring back the no back bump shirt. I will put it back on the shop. It'll be back on the shop in the next 10 minutes. Maybe even sooner. Let's see if I can get there sooner. I'm just gonna put it back up.
Okay, put it back up.
All right. Keep moving forward. Keep your shoulders off the mat. We're out.